Am I the asshole? Super simple. I'm going to read a story. You guys determine whether the assholes. All right, let's just check the top out for the week because there's some juicy ones. All right. Am I the asshole for letting my sister... Here, let me show the screen. Am I the asshole for not letting my sister use the family property for her upcoming wedding? All right. Let's see. I am 25. My sister is 29. I also have a younger sister, 8. When I was 14, my mom sent me to live with her parents. Her excuse was they needed me to help out. I believe she didn't want to deal with a growing male teen. My grandparents owned an amazing property in the mountains that has an amazing view. We also have some horses and other critters. Okay, what are the chances? What are the chances we're talking about horses right now? They were also quite wealthy as well. They both passed 4 years ago, a month apart. They gave me the property because I would appreciate and respect it more, while my mom and sisters got money and other assets overall valued more than the property. In the past 4 years, I turned part of the property into a venue for mainly weddings. GPs knew of this idea, grandparents knew of this idea and thought it was a good one. We are busy and usually booked out 8 months out. My sister got engaged 1.5 years ago and said she wasn't to get... Wait. My sister got engaged 1.5 years ago and she wasn't to get married at the property. I said... Wait, and she wants to get married at the property? I said yes, just let me know the date as soon as possible so I can make sure it is booked. Okay. I never got a date. I followed up several times and kept asking her, and she would just brush me off. 2 weeks ago, I got the wedding invitation, stating the property is the location and the date, which is in September of this year. I immediately called her to say that we have booked for that date and I can't accommodate her. Well, now her, my mom, and other family, her partner's family, as well as other flying monkeys have been blowing up on me. They are also calling and writing reviews for my business. I asked them to stop and call my sister, telling her that I literally all she had to do was tell me when she knew her dates so I could block it off and I would take care of everything else. She went off on how I'm ruining her day. It is our family's property, how she already sent out the invitations and couldn't go back now. I should just tell the other couple to cancel. They have been on the books for over a year now and I actually like them. Family is more important. After the last big blow up, I started communicating strictly through the business. Using a recording line as well as email, I suggested 3 other dates around the same time, but that's not good enough. I'm being resentful and an asshole. TLDR, I'm a property popular wedding venue property. Dude, this person does not speak in good English, or I can't read. I'm illiterate. But anyway, okay. This person is not the asshole. I actually don't think so. Because if you think about it, it's like, dude, if she's constantly asking her sister when they want to do the booking for the wedding, I feel like, and she didn't give him a date, and the first time she's hearing about the date is through an invitation, it's kind of fucked up. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this whole like, oh, you know, family over everything kind of thing. You know, I feel like when you say this kind of saying, it lets family get away with like shitty things. You know what I mean? I don't like that. It's like, dude, just give each other some respect. Like, if you want a date, you have to first confirm it with the person before you send out the invitation. You know what I mean? That's how I see it, at least. All right, get your votes in. Are they the asshole, yes or no? Everyone vote in chat. Tom Toretto taught me that family is everything. Friendship is everything. Trashing reviews was dirty? Yeah, that's fucked too. That's crazy. Anyway, let's check it out. Next one. Am I the asshole for refusing to pay for my BF's food and his birthday and getting him banned from a restaurant? What? What happened here? Okay. Okay. So, this doesn't sound good. We're off to a bad start. I, 18 female, have been dating my boyfriend, John, 20 male, for a little under a year. We have a pretty toxic-free relationship, but there's quite a bit of tension when it comes to me being vegetarian. I've been vegetarian since 11, and I have very strict morals around it. The one thing John has a problem with is me refusing to spend my money on meat. Ever since I started making my own money, I swore to myself that I would never spend a cent on it on meat. On our dates, we usually split the bill, and sometimes he pays for it all. I told him if he orders something meat-free, I'd happily pay for both of us, but he never does. When he pays for my food, it's when I've spent money on the activity. Normally, concerts and festivals. That's me paying 120 plus pounds on tickets and him spending maybe 50 on food. His birthday was a few days ago, and we went out for dinner at his favorite fancy restaurant. He got the most expensive steak they had, along with a side salad and a bottle of wine. When we finished our food, I asked the waiter to split the bill, and John looked at me shocked. He asked if I was joking, and I said no. Then he told me he thought I was going to pay since it was his birthday, and he didn't budget for the meal. I asked him why he thought I'd pay since I've been very clear about my rule, but he couldn't give me a reason other than it being his birthday. I told him I'd pay for the wine and the side salad, but he'd need to pay for the steak. He was furious with me and stormed off to the bathroom. I paid for my meal, the wine, and the salad, and waited for him to come back. He didn't. After waiting for 20 minutes, I left. I found him sitting on a bench near where we parked the car. I asked him why he left, and he reminded me he needed to pay. He looked shocked when I said that and asked me if I didn't pay. I told him I'd paid for everything but the meat, and he lost it. He started yelling at me, telling me I was selfish, that I needed to grow up. I stayed calm and told him he needed to go back and pay. He scoffed and walked away. I ended up driving home without him. Now he's saying it's my fault that he can't show his face in his favorite restaurant since he dined and ditched. It's a pretty small restaurant, so he'd 100% be recognized and kicked out. So am I the asshole? Oh, God. Yeah, so... Okay. So, regardless of what your stance is, whether you think that, you know, she shouldn't be paying for someone else, like for meat in general or not, I think is beside the point, right? So I think what matters more is that that's like her rule, and she stated it multiple times. She said it multiple times, right? And that's like something that she specifically lives by, right? So I think for him to expect her to step over her morals just because it's his birthday, I think it's fucked up. And for him to have that expectation of her is not that good. Also, the tantrum thing is not good either. All over a steak, right? He should have paid for it or something. But okay. But also she is an asshole for not paying for the food because he didn't bring his wallet. What else is he supposed to do there? So I think what she needed to do was just pay for it and then ask for a reimbursement later, right? So I think like she isn't technically paying for it in that sense, to have him save some face and then have him Venmo her later about it. I think that would be perfectly okay. So I think her not paying for the meat, like for the food, considering that he didn't bring his wallet, is kind of fucked up too. Also, leaving him there by himself is kind of fucked up. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely lean more towards not the asshole, but something doesn't sit right with how this whole situation was handled. I think she's still kind of an asshole as well. Why would he not bring his wallet when he knows she doesn't pay for the meal? Oh, I mean, I know. Yeah, so yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. He should have brought his wallet, but the fact that he didn't, you're gonna punish him for that by having him like banned and having him dine and ditch. You know what I mean? It's kind of fucked up, I think, to leave your partner like that. He ditched her in the restaurant and forced her to pay. That's true. Yeah, that is true. That is true. He did actually ditch her. This is tough. This one's a little tough, yeah, because you know, if he would have approached it and been like, "Hey, listen, I'll Venmo you back. Can you please cover it? I don't have my wallet." That would have been a good approach. I just don't like the situation at all. They're like 18, I think, or 20 or something. 18 and 20, yeah. I think they're both kind of assholes, yeah. The guy's definitely way more of an asshole. But she's also a little bit of an asshole too. I'm curious what the comments say. Not the asshole ignoring the vegetarian stuff. Who the fuck orders the most expensive steak possible and expects their partner to pay for them without having checked prior, and then storming off to the bathroom I mean, yes, true. But wait. Uh-oh. No one's saying she's a little bit of an asshole? You both sound obnoxious. Okay, finally we got some equal ground here. All right, let's see what this is. She has a boundary. Is it super strict? Yes, but sounds like she's been very clear about it. Yeah, the boundary isn't the problem. I can understand her logic with refusing to financially support the meat industry, as it's not just about... It's awkwardly socially, unless she hangs out with vegans, but she made herself very clear on the issue. Okay, no, these people are arguing about the boundary. We're not talking... Listen, we're not talking about the boundary, why she would be an asshole. I'm talking about how she handled the situation. You know? The boundary isn't the issue. If you have a boundary and you guys are like accept it, that's the boundary. Who cares? It's pointless arguing about a boundary if both people accept it. You know what I mean? It's like, think of it this way. If you and your significant other agree on something, it really doesn't matter. And you guys have both agreed on it. That's a boundary. It's been set. You know what I mean? Who cares what anyone else thinks about it if you guys both accepted it, right? Or you're okay with it. So arguing about that boundary, I think, is not constructive, you know? It's more about just like calming about everything else. Yeah, I mean, he handled this extremely bad. This was terrible. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he did do that on purpose. Order the most expensive steak, and considering that she doesn't pay for the meat stuff. Yeah. She did do the best to tell him to go back and pay, yeah. I mean, I guess it depends, like, if he had enough money or not. I think that's what it comes down to. We don't have enough information. Like, if he had enough money to actually pay for the steak, even though she covered, like, the salad and everything else, then she's definitely not the asshole. At all. Like, not even a little bit. But, if he didn't have enough money for the steak, I would have paid for my partner and then have my partner reimburse me. You know what I mean? Because he did say that he didn't have enough budget in his wallet or something. I don't know. Anyway, regardless, she's not the asshole. But I just thought maybe slightly could have been a slight asshole. Anyway. Let's say she does pay for him. How are we sure that he'll pay her back? I mean, if he doesn't, then you guys are done. Right? That is like a relationship breaking thing. That's what because this is how, okay, imagine she paid for him and was like, hey, I would like for you to Venmo me back if possible, for the food. And if not, just be like, hey, listen, this is a very strict boundary for mine. I'd really appreciate it, you know, if we did it. If not, you know, I don't think this is going to work out. It's literally like, bro, it's that simple. It's like, you guys have, you have boundaries. Respect each other's boundaries. I don't know, man. All right. Next. That was an interesting one. It's just me. If he didn't have enough and I was in her position, I'll just pay for him and not ask for anything in return. Well, I mean, so there's two approaches. You could have paid for your partner and not ask for anything in return, but you're crossing your own boundaries to do that. Overstepping your own boundary. I would have left the relationship if that were, I would have paid for the meal and then broken up with the person. That's what I would have done. I would have been like, hey, listen, I would have paid for the meal and then we were done, right? And then that's it. And I'll never talk to that person again. Because that's fucked up for putting them in that situation to begin with. So, anyway, let's do one more. Yo, Thunder with a tier 1. Thank you. Gurin with a 10 months reset. Appreciate you. Ape Stomps with the primer. Thank you. Papi Chidori with a 5 months. Thank you. Jollz, did you finish Demon Slayer? I have not. Not yet. They're both young kids and he's throwing a tantrum. She doesn't know how to handle a tantrum. Doesn't make her an asshole in my opinion. Yeah. I'm not. I'm just saying the situation could have been handled better. I'm not calling her an asshole. She's definitely, I'm leaning more on, I'm like 90-10%. You know, 90% she's not the asshole, and then like 10% she could have handled that better. The steak is the asshole. Down with meat. Not my meat, though. My meat's up for your mom. All right, anyway. Let's do one more. Am I the asshole for not helping my family's restaurant because my brother was being paid and I wasn't? Huh? Well, that doesn't sound very fair. So, my 17 female parents recently came into a fair bit of money, inheritance from one of my mom's elderly relatives, I think, and decided to buy out a local ice cream shop that was going out of business. They love that place because it's where they met and has tons of sentimental meaning to them. They also hired my 18-year-old brother to work there because they want him to have a job experience before going off to college. They didn't offer to hire me, and I didn't ask because I already have a fast food job. Anyway, my house is pretty close to the shop, and my friends and I decided to meet up there yesterday for ice cream to hang out. For reference, we're a group of 4 high schoolers. It was pretty busy, so we got in line. About a minute in, my brother came up out of the back and waved me over. He handed me an apron and asked me to help out his coworker in the back because they had to clean the machines ASAP. But my brother had to open a second register because of how busy it was. I refused on the grounds that I wasn't being paid, and he said that I had to help out because it's the family business and because of how swamped the place was and how panicked his coworker was. He even offered to let my friend skip the line if I helped out for 10 minutes to give his coworker a hand, and said I owed it to him to help out because I brought such a big group in. I decided that would cause a scene in a pack. I decided that would cause a scene in a pack shop and refused again. He huffed and waved me off and then went to open the second register. I went back to my friends and the rest of our meetup went well, but my brother kept giving me dirty looks until we got our cones and left. Later that night, my parents confronted me and said what I was doing was petty. They told me to work a shift the next day to make up for it, but backed off since I reminded them that I have an actual job that I was scheduled to work pretty much all day the next day. I ended up getting off scot-free. However, my family maintains that I'm petty and lazy, and now I'm wondering if they're right. So am I the asshole? Oh, hello, Alice. How's it going, Alice? Hello, hello. Hello, hello. I mean, I can see why. Listen. I can see why she doesn't want to do it. She's not getting paid for it. Why would she do it? But like, you know, for 10 minutes to help your brother out, I feel like it's not that bad to help them out. You know, just really quick. Just like a 10-minute help. Man. You know, not asking for too much. 10 minutes isn't bad. 10 minutes to help out your brother. I think that's pretty helpful. I don't know. Yeah, the whole makeup shift that their parents wanted to make them do was fucked up. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that one. Chambers' wife with a tier 1. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. But she wasn't getting paid. She was being forced to do free labor. Yeah, but it's like 10 minutes. And you could tell your brother's swamped. You know what I mean? Like, I'd understand if this was like a work thing and my boss was like, hey, can you do this for 10 minutes unpaid? Then you could throw a fit, right? And just be like, hey, what the fuck? I feel like if it's like, if my brother was like, hey, can you help me out for 10 minutes, dude? We're kind of swamped here. And I came into work. I'd be like, yeah, sure, why not? You know what I mean? It's like for 10 minutes, it's whatever. And, you know, they're being nice and offering my friends a skip in the line. I don't know, man. I feel like that's not like a tall ask. I would say if it was a consistent thing, then that would be fucked up. Like every time they come in, hey, help me out. Okay, that's fucked up. But like just for 10 minutes, I would do that for my friends. Like imagine if I went up to my friend's place and, you know, they were just like, dude, we're kind of swamped here at the bar. Can you help me, you know, make a couple drinks? I'd be like, yeah, fuck it. I can help for 10 minutes. You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind doing that. It's not bad at all. It's 10 minutes. But yeah, the whole makeup shift for the next day. What is that about? That's crazy. Hell no. All right. Yeah, they wanted to spend fun time with their friends, but it's only 10 minutes, right? They could spend it after that. I don't know, man. They'll have a lot of time with their friends. When people are struggling, you know, especially if they're close to you, they're either friends or family, and they're struggling, you know, it's okay to help them out every now and then. For 10 minutes, that's nothing. I do that for free. I do that all the time. I have a friend, if they're struggling with something, I would be like, hey, do you need help with this? I don't mind helping. I'll help them out for 10 minutes. I actually offer that. You know what I mean? Holding it against her is weird still. Yeah, okay. The way the family handled it is definitely not the right move. This was bad. This was definitely bad by the parents. But I can't help but say that I don't like I don't know. I don't like this, the way that this was handled. I don't know. But also, you know, her brother being pissed is whatever. I feel like siblings get pissed about shit like that all the time. Who cares? Like giving him side eyes? Yeah, whatever. Not the asshole. Holy fuck, this is one of the most black and white situations I've ever seen. Your brother was just working to support the business, not taking salary. Then I can see how your family could expect you to step up and contribute, but he gets paid and your family expects you to work for free? Okay, dude, what? It's 10 minutes. Wait, did I misread the situation? Did I misread this? Hold on. We're a group of 4 high schoolers. It was pretty busy, so we get in line. About a minute in, my brother came up to me and waved me over, handed me an apron, asked me to help out his coworker in the back because they had to clean the machines ASAP, but my brother had to open a second register because of how busy it was. I refused on the grounds that I wasn't being paid, and he said that I had to help out because it's the family business. Okay, this reasoning is bad. He doesn't need to help out. She doesn't need to help out, but it would be helpful. So this reasoning as to why she should help is not right, but like asking your sister to help, I don't think is wrong. How swamped the place is, how panicked your coworker was. He even offered to let my friend skip the line if I helped out for 10 minutes to give his coworker a hand. 10 minutes. Dude, what? Am I like, how is that like, why are we diving so deep into this? What? Am I wrong? Damn, am I wrong? Not the asshole. Bottom line is, you don't have to work if you're not getting paid. That's fine. You're not an employee. You know, obligation to do their shop. If your friends wanted someone to help your brother, they could come in themselves. Okay, yeah, but there is no obligation to help. What I'm saying is, like, I feel like not helping, I don't know. I feel like it's not unheard of for him to want to ask for help for 10 minutes. I don't know, man. I feel like it's not crazy to ask, you know, like, to ask your friend or your brother or sister to help. 10 minutes turns into an hour, then 2, because once you start, you can't stop. I mean, if that were to happen, if it ends up being 2 hours, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. Oh, my cam, fuck. You know, like, if... Listen. If it turned into 2 hours, that's when it becomes fucked up. But if it's only for 10 minutes, and you ask... I feel like it's not bad. Why can't your parents come in and help when they're needed? Okay. Damn. I think I'm in the minority here. This is like the first time. Your brother had no business telling you to get to work. Is that what he did? My brother came out of the back and waved me over. He handed me an apron and asked me to help out his coworker in the... Oh. Okay. So this changes it a bit. This wasn't asking. This isn't necessarily asking. This is more of like demanding. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. The fact that he's demanding this help because it's a family business? No, that is fucked up. Okay. I can get behind this now. The fact that he's telling his sister to help out for 10 minutes? Yeah. And the reasoning is because it's a family business, but she's not getting paid for it? Okay, all right. I can get it now. I can get behind this. I guess I was under the premise that, like, he asked her. I don't know why. I thought that he asked her, and she just said no, and then he gave, and then he was upset. Interesting. Yeah, I feel like if you do ask, it could go either way, right? Like, hey, do you think you can help me out? We're kind of busy right now. And she said no. It's like, okay, it sucks, but, it's understandable. And then, he kind of gave him side eyes for that. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Interesting. Wording matters. Context matters. It does. It actually does. Yeah, because when you demand something like that, you have an expectation. And if you have an expectation, that's when it becomes fucked up, in my opinion. But I think if you would have asked, it would have been completely fine. All right, here we go. Am I the asshole? One more. Last one. Am I the asshole for expecting my wife to prioritize me for Father's Day instead of going to a funeral? Jesus Christ. What are we about to get into? The funeral was... Okay. Alright, these are edits. Okay. What are these edits? This is crazy. My wife and I have 2 children, a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old. Our 6-year-old is on the autism spectrum. It goes without saying that this is a very stressful position, and neither of us get very much of a break from this. My wife is a stay-at-home mom. Okay. My wife is a stay-at-home mom, and I have a full-time job. As happy as our children make us, I don't think it's selfish for us to both desire breaks. We get them every here and there, but we made a deal to have 2 guaranteed breaks in a year. Our birthdays and Mother's Father's Day. Edit. Of course, we get other breaks. I am not locking my wife in the house aside from 2 days a year. I cannot believe I have to clarify this. These holidays and birthdays are supposed to be guaranteed off. Other random weekends that one of us decides to take on the brunt of the child care just happens randomly. On those days, the one parent takes on the brunt of the burden so the other can get a day to relax. Since our youngest was about 2, we practiced this. I have never failed to give my wife the day off she deserves. I'll schedule her a spa day or something she really wants to do and get her out of the house so she can relax while I'm on daddy duty. Then when she gets back, our kids give her cards and gifts and we get a meal from her favorite place after they go to bed. My wife has been less consistent and doesn't really do as much as I do for her. The last year, she hasn't really done anything. I typically try not to hold it against her as it's undoubtedly hard, and it does feel kind of unfair. This Father's Day, I planned something for myself as she made no indication of doing something for me. I warned her a week in advance, and she said it was okay. This was until about 3 days ago. My wife's old boss's dad passed away. She was invited to the funeral by the boss, and she chose to attend the funeral, which was about 2 hours away. As a result, I had to cancel all of my plans and take care of the kids. She was supposed to be home at around 5 in the evening, but didn't arrive until around 10. The kids were already asleep, and my wife neglected to help them get an even Father's Day card for me. We get into a huge argument when she got back. I told her that I felt like she really dropped the ball on this and didn't give me a break like I usually do for her. She told me that she's home with the kids all day, just about every day, and I only have to help out after work, and as far as she's concerned, I regularly get a break and she doesn't. I told her working isn't a break and that I really was looking forward to today. She said that someone died and I was being completely selfish to make it about me. I said that it was someone she didn't know who was the parent of someone she hasn't even seen in over a year, and I didn't think I was being selfish in asking her to prioritize my needs just as I gesture like I do hers. Bro, What? She's been pissed at me since, and we're not talking. Am I the asshole? Wait, so she didn't even know the boss's dad? She hasn't seen the boss in over a year? What is that? What? Edit. My wife is not sleeping with her boss. Her boss is a married gay man. We attended his wedding to another man. The people jumping to the conclusion that my eye is cheating on me are being ridiculous and drawing a backstory on one glimpse of my life. This is one situation I'm asking for a judgment on. You don't know the inner workings of my marriage, and I doubt any of you who assume a woman going out for longer than expected means she's cheating will ever have a marriage on your own. Okay. Damn. If you're going to comment saying she's sleeping with her boss, move on. The funeral was real. I dropped her off with some of her old coworkers so they could carpool to the funeral. The funeral was real as I saw multiple pictures of the service from mutual Facebook friends of hers, and she was there for longer because the service went longer than expected, and she was asked to go to the repass. I mean, okay, to be fair, with the information that he gave us, it's not wrong for us to assume something weird was going on. To go to a boss's dad's funeral that you haven't seen in over a year, I mean, that's kind of weird. Like, that is very weird. So, like, I think people jumping to that conclusion isn't really far off, because why are you prioritizing that over your husband's day off? Like, that's kind of fucked up. I don't know. Regardless, even with the context, I don't think this guy is the asshole. I don't think he's the asshole. He planned this out, right? Like, it's the one day a year, or one of the 2 days a year he gets off, and he wanted to plan something, told her ahead of time even. It wasn't like it was sprung up last minute and didn't get it. So I'm thinking she used this as an excuse. So she didn't have to watch the kids. Yeah. My take, at least. In the comments say, I'm gonna go against the grain here, not the asshole. Your wife could have easily gone to the funeral and come home at 5, perhaps brought dinner, did baths and bed while you relaxed. She also absolutely should have helped the kids do something special for you. Old boss's dad. In my funeral book, that does not really justify leaving family for an entire day, driving 4 hours and ignoring Father's Day. The funeral was just an excuse to get out of the house. You may have bigger issues than missing Father's Day. True. Tell your wife you would like a redo. Pick another Sunday for Father's Day. Maybe she will actually help the kids do something fun for you. That could work. Or yeah, you could postpone Father's Day, right? Take it, like, push it back a week. Could do that. That's something. Who attends their former boss's father's funeral several hours out of town? I mean, I wouldn't attend my boss's funeral even if it was in my town. Oh, fuck. True.